Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It is about 4:15 on 4/15/2014. That's April 15th. Hope you got your taxes done today. And anyway, let me read this to you and we'll take a look. The website and this video are for educational purposes only, and nothing stated at the side or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. And I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. Getting a little interesting now. Here's our good old S&P 500. Something didn't work out today that I thought might work out, but maybe it's working out anyway. So what does that mean? Well, first thing I want to show you, the one thing I noticed here that's just kind of an interesting curiosity. If we take this trend line that we've had on the chart for a couple days now, and if we create a parallel line, this is not that important, but it's interesting to note how the parallel line to this top line works out with these two bottoms back on the 8th and then on the 11th. Just pointing that out because it's interesting. And I'll leave that on the chart. I don't think it clutters things up too badly. So today we opened with a nice move up into our 1840 to 1850 gray area, and we were turned back. As a matter of fact, if we extend this little line right here, we were turned back on a back test of this little dinky trend line, which frankly doesn't really amount to that much, but it did happen, so it's worth pointing out. The other thing that I found very interesting, and this is a line that a set of lines rather that I drew on the chart by about midday. I said, by golly, look at that. We are making a descending wedge as we come down to test that same area of lows, which today were just a little over, about 1816, maybe just a little bit over. There's the wedge. Once we got out of the wedge, we did what wedges tend to do, and that is come back to retest the high or the low, depending upon which way the wedge goes, but retesting the extent of the move that was put in before the wedge formed. Now, of course, all of this speaks to some volatility. We were really quite volatile last week. This week, it's not quite as bad. But here we're seeing a swing from the highs of the day, which were about 1843, to the low about 1816. So we're looking at about a 26, 27 point swing from the high to the low, then back up to the high. Let me see if I did my math right. 44. So yeah, about 27, 28 points. So that's kind of interesting. We closed the day at the same level that we achieved early in the trading session, which I actually am looking at what happened today, and it's a little encouraging because it looks like we are very likely to test this resistance line right here. And if it breaks, then I think we would be looking at a nice move to get back to challenge our mid-1880s. I just think that would happen. Yesterday, I pointed out that we may have been looking at an inverted head and shoulders pattern. We kind of gapped over that today, but we came back down to almost the exact level as that right shoulder before we started our move up. So I don't know exactly what to call this now. You wouldn't call it I guess you could call it something like a triple bottom. The only problem I have with that is, what do we call what happened this morning? Do you call that a premature breakout? Maybe. And we've seen this happen before. But again, a pretty nice day, considering that this could have been an opportunity for the markets to really turn south and come on down to about 1800. Not saying that's off the table. We got to get over this line right here. If we get over this red line, come on, show me. There we go. If we get over this red line right here, then I would be expecting a move, probably initially to meet some resistance around 1872, but then possibly to fall back, attack that again before attacking 1884. But gotta get over this first. So very close to doing that today, but not quite. That line tomorrow would be at about 1846 to start with, and by the end of the day it would be at 1840 because it is a descending resistance line. So let's see if the S&P can show us enough strength to get over this descending resistance line, and if it does, if that starts to set up our move to come back and challenge some of these overhead resistance lines that we haven't really been that close to over the past 4 days since we had this last leg down here. So guys, I think it's like I said, mildly encouraging. I think I love this little wedge right here. That just played out so well. And again, if you remember our little test, and that is, if you think you're looking at a wedge, snap that line down the center to see if you get any technical significance around that line there. And look, here, 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 support here, then kind of made a little S-turn around it, then got over it. So in other words, that helps you see if everything is getting more and more compressed. So let's see what happens tomorrow. You know, there may be a little sign of a little rolling over near the end of the day today, but I still think we are very likely to at least challenge this red line at some point tomorrow. And like I said, if we get over it, then I believe that would be setting in motion what we need to see in order to say, okay, we're not going to get down to 1800. Instead, 1815 may be all that we needed to do. But until we get over this, we're not. If we do, we make that call. One thing I want to let you know is that tomorrow I'm going to be busy after right around and for a few hours around the market's close. So tomorrow's video is going to be later than normal. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So looks like we may be starting to firm up a bit. Let's see if we see some more buying pressure tomorrow. And if we do, let's see if we can get back up and kind of look at what happened over the past week or so as just a breather, like we pointed out. We often get these little, 3.5%, 4%, 5% dips. I think they're needed from time to time. So guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and look for tomorrow's video a bit later in the evening than what I typically do. Thanks again. Take care.